Hey guys, what's going on? It's Twintuitive 717. I am back with another video. I hope you guys are doing great. Today I've got a message from the Divine Masculines because they're thinking about you a lot, especially going into the weekend. If that rings a bell, stay tuned for this video. It's for you. Welcome back. So I had this vision, and I'm not sure who this is for or who this reading is going to resonate with, but if there are some of you who live in the same city as your Divine Masculine, or maybe you live in cities that are close by, or he knows where you live, I've just been getting this vision of them parking up somewhere close to where you guys live, just to feel energetically closer to you. For many of them, it's shocking behavior, but it's not like in this creepy stalkerish way. It's just the epiphany of the connection is happening to them right now, and they're finding themselves doing a lot of bizarre things. Not that we're judging here, because I know that a lot of the Divine Feminines have, maybe done similar things, and I'm not throwing shade at anyone. I know that I have, definitely felt the urge in the beginning of my connection to look at every social media page that my masculine had, and it's just this feeling of wanting to be next to them or close to them. So yeah, like that's just what I get for some of you guys. Like maybe it's a gas station, a convenience store, like a Walmart around the corner. Like I don't know what it is, but maybe on his way home from work he'll just stop and like have a coffee in the parking lot. If you're in Canada and there's a Timmy's parking lot close by, that just might be the spot that they stop by just to kind of feel you out, feel your energy a little bit. And so I just thought that was very interesting, and so I wanted to dive into a quick reading here for you guys, just to see what that means and to see the energy around it, because I know that in the past readings we've talked about the masculines really missing the feminines, particularly wanting to connect intimately as well. And if you're new to the channel or you've missed the last few videos, we've really talked about wanting to make love to the Divine Feminine, and it's coming from a place of wanting to express the love that they feel for her on a deep spiritual level. And many of the Divine Feminines right now are working through the process of, receiving this channeling on their own and having it come from a place of realizing that it's wanting to bond and not just like, one of those booty call situations. So as you can see, both of the twins are constantly having a lot of work to do, a lot of realizations about the connection coming up. But I just thought that I would share some thoughts from your masculines. So let's see, I'm just going to cut the decks, guys. I'm not going to bother with shuffling every single deck here. Okay, so white dress. So I feel like the white dress comes out here because that's just like the energy he's in terms of like how he feels for you. Like many of them might be thinking about you walking down the aisle in a white dress, or just what that would be like, period. For the Divine Feminines, I feel like the white dress is kind of like a period of relaxation for her. Almost like she has no idea what's going on right now, completely oblivious. She's completely focused, busy in her own life, creating things from a very fresh perspective. And for the first time ever, the Divine Feminine is feeling the release of this obsession over the masculines. But now it's like a switch. The masculines are feeling this deep, innate need to connect with her, know where she is, be close to her in whichever way possible that is. I know we talk a lot about like the social media stuff, but for me, like these visions are past like social media and phone calls and stuff. Like I sense many of you may be bumping into your counterparts in the near future because of the universe orchestrating this pull that you both feel to just want to connect with each other. Like what I get to through this card is that just like the simplicity and the purity of it is that you guys might end up running into each other in a way where you're so unprepared. Like the Divine Feminine may be completely underdressed, like you're just coming back from the gym, you're all sweaty and stinky, or you might end up running into your masculine at like one of his work sites, or you might end up, driving by one of those areas where you see him. And I feel like, that moment is going to be sort of like an epiphany for both of you guys in terms of like how divine this connection is and how much you can't really get away from it, and it's not like 3D relationships. So that's why I tell you guys, like, there's no judgment here in terms of like what you guys have done to feel each other's energy out. Your masculine's just in that space right now, and he's really thinking about his counterpart, like his feminine, his divine feminine, hence the white dress here. So let's see what the Tarot Sexual Magic has to say. So we got the Ten of Pentacles here coming up. And, you know, in regards to, I guess, watching her, he knows that she's very satisfied right now in her own life. And I feel like that's why it depicts him being on his knees and she's covered in the fruit. It's almost like he didn't put those fruits there. She covered herself with it because she's just on this path and this journey to fulfilling her own needs. And somehow I feel like the Divine Feminine's kind of snapping back or clapping back and being like, you know what, like, you put me in this space, like you put me on this path to seeking sovereignty, just being on my own, you know, feeling that completion within myself. And now that the, you know, magic mirror is there reflecting everything back to him, you know, he's very much on this path of feeling like he wants to claim her as his own. And with the white dress too, it's not just like, I want you to be my girlfriend. It's like, no, I want to spend my life with you. And that is just coming from a place of understanding and realizing the twin flame connection, especially in the physical world with the Pentacles energy. What I get from that too is that he's completely isolating himself away from everybody because he is at this number 10 energy now, where you don't really care about anybody else's opinion, right? The masculines are starting to understand that they've got to live life for themselves, and sometimes that might be pulling away from the norms that they might feel. So maybe feeling a little bit out of place with their family because of their decision to pursue their twin flame connection, and then dealing with the strain of that relationship. I get to, like, a lot of them don't really care at this point with the 10 energy because, you know, even so, like, they might be having like these kind of weird relationships with family and friends around the twin flame connection. They're isolating themselves, like they're moving out of town, they're getting a place of their own where they don't really have to deal with anybody else's opinions. Like they might be avoiding phone calls, you know, not taking anybody's call unless absolutely necessary. People might be like calling them off the hook, wondering like what's going on with them. And that's just the shift that's taking place here, because they're starting to see and realize, like, I don't want anything and everybody else. I just want my divine feminine. I just want to experience true love. Because he knows what it's like to wake up and have a busy work schedule. He knows what it's like to be working 3 jobs. His bank account is overflowing. He has all of this entertainment in front of him, all of these, you know, it's like I hear that crazy, not crazy, but just very out there personality. You guys remember that guy hitting the drums and he was like, love is the answer, stop buying stuff. So I kind of get that energy from like the masculines. It's like they're at this place now where they realize, like, you know, I can't just go on in the material world here without my feminine. It's like, again, with the 10, she completes the feeling of being here on this earth. It's like, why did I even come to this planet if I can't be with her in the way I want to be with her? And I feel like the divine feminine too has put like such an end to all of the very mundane communication. Like, I think maybe the masculine thought it was entertaining to like play games back and forth, bounce around on social media, but it's like the feminine became so bored with it, because I feel like the more she grew spiritually, the further it took her away from the 3D world. And then she started discovering all of these gifts about herself. Like, it was so much more fun to spend time alone, or with the birds outside, or with the wind, or just meditating, or spending time with your thoughts, listening to different types of music, like just exploring your inner self. And the masculine was there kind of like running out of steam in the physical world in terms of like earning or accumulating. It was like he became so tired because the feminine really could care less about material possessions or wealth. I mean, it's not to say that she doesn't appreciate it or like it, because believe me, there are many of you, you know, just according to your life path number or your astrology, where you really love luxurious, fine things around you, but it's not a need. It's just nice to have it, right? There's so much more that you find fulfillment in on this planet rather than stuff. So yeah, he's just kind of like running out of steam because he knows that he can't really compete with it. Yeah, so there he is. He's like trying to match her energy and trying to get that same fulfillment that you feel, divine feminines, in the world, where it's like you just have to like smell a nice flower and you're happy. You just need to, see a cute baby go by in a stroller and that makes you happy, or to see a puppy, or, all of these like very simple kind of pleasures in life is what makes you feel rich. And so the divine masculine has no choice but to humble himself now and explore that, I guess, feminine side of himself, or like that spiritual side of himself, because he knows that mastering that, like hence the lotus position here, mastering that side of himself is what's attractive to the divine feminine. Being present with himself, wanting to be of service, helping others, treating others with kindness, finding the meaning of why it is we're here, kind of thing. It's like she doesn't mean to be, but it's just she spent so much time in this energy of wondering about this whole crazy twin flame connection that it's led her down that rabbit hole. And now that the divine masculine is going down this rabbit hole, it's like so much explosions of realizations that, wow, I just spent the last little while really working hard in the material world to impress her or make it seem like I was the best choice, when all along it was a no-brainer for her. It's like she was just waiting for him to realize that. And he is in the process of realizing this because of the energy of the white dress, the way he's thinking about the connection with such purity. And then the completion with the Pentacles energy, just shying away from everything else that doesn't serve him or makes him feel good, thinking about what makes him feel good, and realizing that the fruits of that energy there, like the buildup, it's the divine feminine. She's the one that makes him feel nurtured. Like a conversation with her, a text from her makes his whole day brighten up. Like, he might be at work, working a 12-hour shift, and the divine feminine texts him in the morning, and all of a sudden that 12-hour shift goes by like it was 3 hours, because he's so ramped up with, her love or her energy or that spark. So yeah, if many of you are not experiencing communication right now, even though you feel them around you very heavily, like it's just simply taking the time out here to approach you guys in a way that is more grounded. And believe me, divine feminines, you guys will notice like when your masculine is in this energy, or whether or not it's like very unbalanced. You can feel it, because I've mentioned in past readings before, like if you guys are in separation and he comes towards you in a way that he seems unready, you will be turned off, divine feminine. You'll recognize it from a mile away, and you yourself will find yourself acting in ways towards him that are similar. Like it's just blocked. You can't seem to give 100% because you're still kind of, wishy-washy or wondering based off of his energy and how he's interacting with you. It's like you guys intuitively know where they are. Your dreams will tell you, all of these signs and synchronicities. So the minute they pop up and the energy is off balance, like the divine feminine can't help it. She'll go running. And it's almost like you don't mean to go running, divine feminine, but it just sort of happens that way. It's like, oh my God, why can't I feel that pull towards him? Why can't I feel that attraction towards him? Why am I finding reasons not to message him back right now? Like that's the stuff that will end up happening to you guys. So he is aware of this right now because of so many different cycles that you guys have had. He's starting to pick up on the patterns now. So many of them are in a place of trying to find peace and stillness. And it says peace among the thorns here. So I kind of think that goes back to dealing with the upheaval of a lot of relationships that they currently have. Maybe just kind of feeling lonely, and not lonely because they don't have people around them. Lonely because the people that are around them, it's just not on the same vibration. Like they can't even authentically be themselves in conversations. They're finding that the mundane things that people are talking about these days, they can't even be bothered by it, because in their head they're like, I'm going through a twin flame journey here where I found my true love, and I can't be with her, and all you guys could talk about is sports and politics. Kind of, not that sports and politics are bad, I'm just saying like that's the kind of feeling that he's in. It's like he's looking around and no one understands the magic that is happening in his life right now. So he's really feeling the need to connect with you and have these like spiritual, deep conversations with you, divine feminine. And the thing I get to about those conversations that you guys have, it doesn't only make him feel peaceful, but it makes him feel like understood, nurtured. He falls even more in love with you and the process of figuring out each other and figuring out what this is. So yeah, I think that's beautiful energy. that kind of sums up why he might be lingering around or wanting to feel your energy. It's because he literally misses the feeling of being at home with you, okay? So, you know, if you guys are guided to, send them love. Normally, you know, for me, if I'm feeling this kind of heavy energy towards my masculine, I've shared in past readings, I ain't afraid of no ghost. So, you know, in the physical, I'll reach out. Hey, dude, I can feel you heavily right now. I hope everything's okay. I'll send the message. I really could care less if he messages back or not, because I've just come to the point on my journey where I really fully understand what this is, what this means. Sometimes I can tell if the energy's off. And again, I will at times feel guided to even like not message, but just more like write him a letter, or not that I would send the letter, but just like write my thoughts out on paper. Or, you know, just kind of whisper some thoughts out to the sky and ask the universe to deliver those messages to him, so that he can feel like at peace or at calm and know that, hey, I've gone through or am going through the same things that you have. I feel you. I get it. I get that this shit is crazy. It's magical. It's hurtful. It's, you know, mind-blowing at times. I feel you and I am here with you. And it's this very essence of like this confidence in this journey that he's picking up on that's, you know, really making him feel like I need to be near her to get some of that, because, you know, the physical world out there seems really dark right now. So my lovely divine feminines, send your counterparts some kisses, some love, energetically. Again, if you guys are feeling badass enough to do it, hit them up with a message in that inbox, and, you know, put your guard up, put your shields up. And that's just me. That's just how I roll with my masculine, and he knows that. And, you know, it's just how I do. So that I can share it with you guys and let you know that it is not as crazy as it seems. Rejection is not as bad as it seems. You guys can get through it because you are so beautiful and loving and warm and nurturing, and your divine feminines. Trust in that energy and trust that your masculines see you in that same light as well. All right, my lovely ladies and gents, if you're listening, I love you guys. I will hit you up in the next video. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do one on the weekend, but if not, I love you guys, and I'll speak to you soon. Enjoy your weekend. Bye, guys.